fanboy and the snob. My name's Christopher.
I'm Chad, and today we're talking about The Edge.
It was pretty unbearable. We watched Das Edge.
And what's the reason you made me want to watch this movie?
I don't know, man. I just really wanted to watch a bear movie. I like bears.
And it's the best one we could think of. Well, I could think of.
Pretty much.
20.
There's not a lot of movies with bear attacks in them where the whole movie is about a bear attack.
Yeah, stalker, fucking serial killer bear.
It was like a serial. It was.
This one's a human killer.
It was a. It was like a slasher villain. He would just show up at the most inopportune times and chase the main character.
Make noises, fuck with him.
Oh, that was cool. So anyway, it's about this billionaire?
He's a millionaire.
He's like a multi-millionaire to the point of where like $30 million.
Back in the 90s, I don't think they were billionaires in movies because they're like...
Yeah, true. But like that guy was like, it only cost $30 million, like saying that's not a lot of money to Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why Anthony was like, go fuck yourself. But yeah, it starts with this millionaire, his wife, who's a model, the photographer of the model,
his assistant.
The black guy, yeah. I forget his name, but he was in the second and third Matrixes.
Yeah. What was his name? Dozer?
No, he was Dozer's cousin. I forget his name. Link. He was Link. Yeah, Link from the Matrix. Great actor. Get the short end of the stick in this movie for sure.
Oh, you knew it was good.
But I was like, he was the most, he was like, yeah, you know, like.
I don't know, he kind of pissed me off at the beginning. He was like, oh, bro. He had like that meltdown moment.
But then Anthony Hopkins got him to like start thinking.
Hey, bud, let's make a spear.
But even when Alec Baldwin threw the fucking paperclip, he got in Alec Baldwin's face and was like, what do we do now? Like, why would you throw that? You fucking idiot. So.
I feel bad. The one task Anthony Hopkins is like, we'll just keep him busy. Cuss his leg.
We'll get to that. But anyway, so it's they're going up north to Alaska for like a photo shoot / birthday party / vacation.
She's like, he likes bears.
Yeah. So like they go into the cabin and they're staying with this guy who has like these scars on his face. I assume he got attacked by a bear too. So that's why at the end of the movie, him and Anthony were like, we both killed bears. You know? Yeah, so they go up to this cabin in Alaska, and that guy who's filling up the plane is like, "Ooh, look at that thing!" And he's like, and Anthony turns around, and it's his wife, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "That plane, that's a $20 million plane." He's like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." So like, it's already like Anthony's kind of defensive about his wife, and a lot of people hit on her because I guess she's the most beautiful model in the world. I guess. I don't know. They don't really go into the model's backstory because she's kind of irrelevant to the story.
She's very relevant to the story.
That was called burying the lead. So they go to this cabin, they party. The guy who owns the cabin basically says, like, if you see a bear, let it know that you know. Like, make yourself aware of each other and then back away slowly. Always keep food covered or locked away, even inside the cabin. And he gives all this stuff about bears and what you got to do. And then Alec Baldwin gives him a knife, and he's like, neat. And then he's got to give him a coin, remember? Gives him the coin. And then Anthony Hopkins goes to the basement to make a sandwich. And like the door's open, and there's meat out, and he remembers what the old man said about the bears. So he runs over, and he fucking panic, shuts the doors, freaking out a little bit.
I just like how this whole movie, you could just tell he just has constant paranoia about everything.
Yeah.
He's like the most insecure millionaire man in the world.
But then the second he's away from it all, he becomes like
super badass.
Yeah, complete badass. Like once you get rid of the money and the buzzing and the technology, he's by the end of the movie he's wearing bear skins and carrying a spear. Like full Neanderthal. It's awesome. I love this movie. Yeah, so he's like scared and he panics and he shuts the door and then he turns to go back to the party and Alec Baldwin scares him with a bearskin rug, foreshadowing. No, what did I turn to you and I go, yeah, that's the bear. Like, that's the special effects, bro. Like, that's it. It's just a guy in a bear costume. You probably would have made me turn the movie off, right?
No.
If the whole movie was a guy in a bear costume chasing Anthony Hopkins around a house.
I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Man, you didn't enjoy this movie?
No,
This movie's awesome.
It was fine. It was fine.
This movie's great. Then what happens, Jade?
Then it goes to the next day.
Yeah. They party all
After
night.
they give their gifts and everything. It goes the next day. And this is where they're starting to do their little photo shoot, but it's just not good enough.
The model they need, the male model or whatever, is sick, so he won't fly to Alaska.
Baby.
So he points to this. Alec Baldwin points to this old Indian man on the wall.
It's like, this is photography back in the day.
Yeah, this is the first. What is it? Secure photo, like where there's no insecurities present, like back before people worried about how they looked in photographs and stuff like that.
It was last week.
And he was like, yeah, that's from last week. And he was like, oh, okay. And then Alec Baldwin's like, I need this man in my photo. Where is he? And the guy who owns the cabin's like 80 miles that way. And he's like, cool, let's go get him. And the guy in the cabin who owns the cabin was like, no, he's probably hunting bear. And Alec Baldwin's like, I don't give a fuck, we're gonna go. Come on, Anthony, it'll be an adventure.
Go spread your wings.
Come on, black man, it'll be an adventure.
He's just like, God damn it.
And they go and they jump in the plane and they get to where the Indian guy's living, but he's out hunting bear 80 miles that way. So they get in the plane again.
And probably one of the most unintentionally funny scenes ever.
I don't know. It's kind of jarring.
Yeah, fuck that, but it's hilarious. They're flying the plane and all of a sudden like a bunch of birds just right into the propellers.
It happens all the time though. And fucks the engine up, hurts the pilot.
Of course the pilot dies. The pilot never lives in these movies.
And they crash. And Alec Baldwin unbuckles his seatbelt and saves himself.
He does try to save the pilot for a second.
Yeah. And then he swims away, leaving Anthony Hopkins to save the black guy, grab flares, but leave the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he couldn't carry everything. And then he swims to the surface, and they're all freaking the fuck out. And then Anthony Hopkins, who, by the way, we forgot to mention, got a book on survival. That he and his whole thing is like he loves to read. He's super knowledgeable. He knows everything. So he probably read that survival book in like a sitting and had all this survival knowledge. They start a fire and warm up. And then they're like, let's, then they yell at each other for a little bit.
Yeah, that's when everybody starts panicking, and Anthony Hopkins is like, playing cool.
Just play it cool. They make a compass, which Chad didn't know you could do. Which
I'm sure some viewers don't know you can do it either.
All you do is you take a cup of water and you put something that floats, and you take a paper clip or a needle and you statically charge it, and then you drop it on the floaty thing and it'll point to magnetic north.
Fucking belt buckle, man.
Yeah, that fucking belt buckle. Which wouldn't have affected it in any way, shape, or form, I think. But I don't know.
It was going towards his belt buckle.
They just got lost. I think that's what it is. So they decide to head south because they realize they're too far north for anyone to be looking for them because they think they're at the first cabin, right? And it's pretty hardcore. A lot of walking, a lot of yelling.
And skip a little bit further.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
they're back at their original campsite.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck everything.
Don't they go back to the original campsite after they saw the bear, though?
Yeah, they did see the bear and they ran away from it.
Yeah, this is when the bear started chasing me to cross the river and everything. Anthony
Hopkins the river scene.
He falls into the water,
and he loses flares. Yep.
But Alec Baldwin saved him.
Saved his life. And he was like, thanks, bub.
We forgot to bring up that whole fucking thing on the helicopter.
Oh, where he turns to, so how are you planning to kill me?
Yeah, right before the birds go into the thing, Anthony Hopkins looks at Alec Baldwin and is like, so how are you planning to kill me? And
Alec Baldwin's like, what? And then the birds hit the plane.
Once again, feeding into his insecurities.
Or he knew. He just knew from the get-go. I mean, he was right.
I really wanted Alec Baldwin to be the hero of this movie.
Oh, no. He was a scumbag the whole fucking movie. He was so annoying. All he did was complain. He never, tried to make the situation better. At least the black guy was, trying to help.
Yeah.
So they make it back to their original campsite. Black guy starts freaking out. Anthony Hopkins is like, well, fuck, I messed up. Better try again tomorrow. And then Alec Baldwin has a meltdown. And Anthony Hopkins gives the black guy a knife and a stick. And he's like, well, we're going to need to make a spear if we're going to fish. And the black guy's like, okay. And he starts carving a spear. And he goes over to Alec Baldwin. And he's like, I just gave him something to do to chill him out. And he's like, that's cool.
Yeah, because Alec Baldwin's like, what do you think? He's going to be able to catch a fucking fish with that thing?
And it's like, who cares? He just needed something to do. Then we hear a scream of pain.
One of the most brutal bear attacks. Fuck the
No,
Revenant.
we didn't see that yet. He cuts himself
Oh yeah,
because idiot was carving like
towards.
into himself instead of like off to the side or out. He was carving into his leg, and he fucking slices a big old piece of meat.
Ugh.
And they fucking suture it, not suture it. You know,
Titan.
compress. No, it begins with a T. Anyway,
Tenderize.
yeah, tenderize. They tenderize the wound. And then he takes the bloody pant leg, and he's like, bury that, go bury this. And Alec Baldwin runs off into the woods.
That lazy fuck just throws it.
Just throw it in a tree. And so they're sitting there in a thunderstorm by the roaring fire. Black guy ain't doing too good. Anthony Hopkins gets up because Alec Baldwin's like, what do you think our chances of making it out of here? And he's like, 100%. We're definitely going to make it out of here. Like, come on. Like, you can't think like that. You know, how do men die in the woods? Or what do men die of in the woods? And it's shame, because they sit there and they go, how did this happen to me? And then they die instead of manning up and dealing with it. That's when he sees a flash of lightning and he sees the fucking rag in the tree. And he's like,
son of a bitch.
He's like, I told you to fucking bury it. And as soon as that happens, cuts to the black guy, and he looks over his shoulder, and there's a flash of lightning, and you just see the silhouette of the bear, and it walks into the light, and he just goes, ah! Ah! And he's like trying to crawl away, and it bites him by the leg and fucking thrashes him around and drops him. And Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin run over and start hitting him with sticks. And he doesn't care. He just fucking rips the dude to pieces. It was an intense.
Anthony Hopkins does a lot of things in this movie where he just sits and watches for a sec to take it in.
Yeah.
Then he'll go.
Well, he analyzes the situation and then he acts, which is probably the best way to do it. Just sucks. Alec Baldwin's like, we gotta run, and he like, and Anthony like stays and fights for a couple seconds. He makes eye contact with the bear, like, you and me, bro. Eventually,
I will take you down.
So they run from that bear, and it eats the black guy. And then for the rest of the movie, it's just them going south with a grizzly bear chasing them. Like every time they like sit and chill for 5 minutes, they hear it and they have to get up and move.
Yeah, that cool scene where at the fire they hear it, so they just start throwing fire everywhere.
He's down by the river and it's chasing him, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like he's like weaving through trees and it's just plowing through the trees.
And that's a weird scene too, because it just cuts to Alec Baldwin sitting against a tree with the branch on fire, just looking very like
dour.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Bob, he's right behind me. And then they run over to their fire and they just start throwing sticks, and they like create like a ring of fire around them, and they sit there all night. And all you can hear is the bear like circling and cracking trees. And that's when Anthony Hopkins comes to the realization,
we're fucked.
It's a man eater. It's going to be us or him.
I love the scene when he's chasing Anthony Hopkins. He's running through the trees, breaking all the branches and everything.
Yeah. And then, they realize it's us or them.
So they make their elaborate traps.
They build a cool, like, fucking swingy thing. That was cool.
And it's like a rock with a bunch of sticks. Hopefully that will just impale the bear.
Yeah. And
but it didn't.
It hit it. It hurt it.
Yeah.
It gave him enough time to run down to the river. And then they're standing in the river, like, just stabbing at it, like, backing up and stabbing at it, like, having a legit spear fight with a bear.
I will say, Anthony Hopkins did get hit in the face, and he got right back up.
Yeah.
Probably the most unrealistic thing about this.
Or adrenaline.
Yeah. But wouldn't getting hit in the face with a bear...
Bears can decapitate a moose with
That's what I'm saying.
He would have died, right? That he
his neck would have just been...
popped his head off. That would have been it.
We even had the cool movie where they find the cabin.
Yeah, but anyway, so they're fighting the bear. And I think Anthony Hopkins, right? Doesn't he, like, trip? So Alec Baldwin runs up and stabs him in the side, and then the bear swats Alec Baldwin, like, across the river, which gives Anthony...
They show his body flail. It's like...
Yeah. They give Alec a very, very 90s movie thing to do. Show them flying. Which gives Anthony Hopkins enough time to fucking get ready and do the fucking deadfall thing.
Yeah.
Right? Props up the spear, and the bear kills himself with his own weight. And Alec Baldwin's all fucked up, and he's like, no. And it turns out Anthony Hopkins lived.
Yeah, he had the fake death scene where he's like, he's dead.
But I think he was just more laying there like, oh, fuck.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then...
he tells Alec Baldwin, he's like, I really didn't think that was going to work.
No, it's fucking insane. Then they become cavemen. They skin the bear. They eat its flesh.
They got necklaces with
with
the
the bear
fucking.
claw on it that he made for them, and they have like cloaks and like hats and like they're
And I forgot that's not the most unrealistic thing. We'll get to the most unrealistic thing in soon.
what?
We'll get to it soon.
Okay, so now they're like full on caveman style, and they're
Yeah.
just walking through the woods confidently.
It's fucking got their fucking bear skins, their spears they're carrying, and everything.
And they wind up stumbling upon a cabin that had been abandoned for an incredibly long time.
Yeah, it's got some first aid stuff, some whiskey.
Yep, Old Eagle whiskey, a gun.
Mm.
They start making themselves at home, and Anthony Hopkins goes to get the stove, and he doesn't have any kindling. So he opens up the case for his knife, and he pulls out the warranty card, and underneath the warranty card was a receipt. And it said the price for the pocket watch that his wife gave him. And you're like, "Aw." Or no, first the price for the knife, then the price for the pocket watch. And he was like, wait, her gift and his gift on the same receipt? That's weird.
Mm.
And then under it was a receipt for Alec Baldwin's watch, which was like, it's fucking cool that we're cheating on him.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for all the good nights.
Yeah.
Which is such a shitty thing. Like, fuck that girl, dude.
Yeah, yeah. She deserves to get eaten by a bear. So then it's basically like the whole movie they had been kind of like Alec Baldwin was like, haha, I took you out in the woods to kill you, ha ha ha, because I want your girl and your money. And it's like, okay. And Alec Baldwin even says like, I wouldn't kill you now, I need you to get out of here.
Yeah.
You know. And then Alec Baldwin gets drunk and loads the gun. Anthony Hopkins confronts him. Alec Baldwin says, I'm going to shoot you outside because, yes, this is my plan to kill you and steal your wife.
Yeah, it's the cool scene. You just see Alec Baldwin playing with the gun, just slowly putting bullets in. Anthony Hopkins is like, you need a drink to do this?
Yeah, that's the best line. He's like, oh, what, you have to get drunk to kill me? Like, fuck you, dude. And then Alec Baldwin's like, turn around. And he's like, no, like, shoot me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And he keeps walking towards Alec Baldwin, and Alec Baldwin keeps walking backwards.
I like the little touch they did. Like, right when they were first working, then you see Anthony Hopkins look down at the ground, pat his foot. He's like, oh, cool. One of his little traps.
That's there. You know, like, that's what he did. Mental note. So he keeps walking towards Alec. Alec obviously doesn't want to pull the trigger, and then he falls into a tiger trap.
Do you think he would have shot him?
No, he would have shot him if he was going to shoot him.
You think so? You don't think he would have just dropped the gun, started crying, been like, my bad, bro?
No, I'm saying he would have shot him if he was going to shoot him, but the fact that he was backing up means he wasn't going to shoot him.
Yeah. And that's the most unrealistic thing. You go through all this fucking bromance shit.
Yeah, and then you're like, I got to kill you. What I would have said if I was Alec,
I'm so sorry.
I would have been like,
wife.
you know, dude, before this, yeah, I fucked your wife. After this, like, my
Fuck
world,
her, dude.
Everything has changed.
Yeah.
We hunted a bear. We lived in the woods.
Like, you don't kill a bear with a dude,
and
skin him, get the fucking cool necklaces, and not have, like, a bond.
You guys overcame nature together through sheer force of will. It started off as 3. One of you died. And, you know, like, that's hard. That doesn't happen anymore in life.
Oh, but sadly, Alec Baldwin falls into the pit and gets speared by the spikes in the bottom of the pit.
He falls down like an 8-foot hole with spikes sticking out of it.
And our buddy Anthony Hopkins still saves him.
Still pulls him out of that pit, fixes his wound up best he can. Turns out there's a canoe underneath the cabin.
Hey, he fucking carries the dude up to the cabin. What a good guy.
Then they canoe downriver. Probably you can canoe like 100 miles in a day if, you know, if you're going with
current.
Yeah, if you're going with the current, which they were heading south. So, eventually they're in like a big old. No, they're not in a big old field. They're in like an estuary kind of thingy. And Alec Baldwin's like, you know, dude, I totally would have shot you. And he's like,
Anthony Hopkins like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't have. And you're like, fuck you. And then he's like, by the way, your wife wasn't in on the murder plot. And he's like, that's cool.
Thanks for telling me.
I'm still, you know, I hate her. You know, doesn't change anything. And then a helicopter shows up. Oh no, this is before the helicopter shows up. Doesn't he apologize for everything?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry I tried to shoot you. I'm sorry this happened. I'm sorry I dragged you out.
Anthony Hopkins like, stop, you're not gonna die.
Yeah, don't worry, you're not gonna die. Then a helicopter flies by and Anthony Hopkins manages to signal it, but when he looks back, Alec Baldwin's dead.
Keeled over. And
then it cuts them flying home. And he gets off the fucking little seaplane or whatever, and the old guy and the Indian are there, and they like give him like a "you're a man now" nod. But it's more like because it's okay. I guess they're the first, not the wife or anything. Yeah, let the weird Indian guy and the old man see him first.
Well, it's their property.
True. Then he goes up to his wife, and he gives her Alec Baldwin's watch.
Yeah,
which
she gives him a hug, and his face is like the most uncomfortable thing. Right when they let go, he just goes,
yeah, he goes, "Here you go," and then she's like, "Ah, shit." And then the newscaster's like, "There were more of you. Where did they go?"
and him being the honorable man,
"They died saving my life." And he has tears in his eyes, and then the movie cuts to Blake.
Yeah.
Great little movie, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about it because a lot of it is just guys talking and running from a bear. So there's not really many more scenes than.
Well, this is one of the good thing about 90s movies. You can call it a throwaway movie.
I wouldn't call it a throwaway. It's definitely, if this was on, if I was walking by the TV and this was on, I would just sit down and watch it.
That's what I'm saying. A throwaway movie. You can just watch it anytime.
Yeah.
Pick up pretty much anywhere.
And know exactly what's happening. Yeah, but there's no like deep emotional there's no life-changing moments.
But what did it for me was the bear.
The bear was
what was
awesome.
The bear's name?
Bart the bear. He got special. He was top billed.
Yeah, him and the trainer. They didn't even mention the trainer's name.
Oh shit! I know the last name is Doug Seuss.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I remembered. Yeah, like the scenes they did with the bear is in most of those scenes with the actors. Like it's not a Revenant CGI bear that looks like a PS2 monster. You know, that was a real bear.
Hey, he won the Oscar for that.
Of all the films he was in, that's the one.
See, Leonardo DiCaprio should have put out a movie during COVID. Because then he definitely would have won the Oscar.
Call it Leo DiCovio.
Leo DiCovio.
And it's just him in his house like, I'm sick.
So moving.
Oh my God. He's like in $1 billion mansion, just like, oh, I don't feel good. Just walking around. They're like, oh my God, this man's plight.
We'll talk about all the good things in this movie.
The bear, Anthony Hopkins, Alec Baldwin, everyone was good.
Yeah. This character actors, man.
This movie could have sucked if like, let's say the black guy was a bad actor, you know?
Well, the problem with movies nowadays is they try to shove all these big actors in it.
Yeah.
Which you only really need one or two, then you could just put all these cool characters. Like, look at fucking Jaws, man.
Yeah. Dreyfus, right? And then everyone else.
The movie was great.
Yeah, the movie's great. A lot of movies are like that. Fucking a lot of Mel Gibson's most recent films are just like
there's reasons.
He's
nobody wants to work with him.
But yeah, but that means like that Dragged Across Concrete, the black guy in Dragged Across Concrete was fucking awesome.
What was the movie he made? Like the Father movie? That was cool.
Yeah.
Fat Man.
Yeah, the villain in Fat Man got time to shine. Yeah, Keanu does that too. Like, he'll be the biggest name in the movie. Yeah. It's like, it's not like a Marvel movie where it's like, come see Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. To be fair, Chris Evans wasn't really popular.
He was in Sunshine.
Yeah, he was doing like indie movies and not a teen movie.
Not a teen movie's awesome. It's like his best movie. Like, I'm not saying that as a joke.
Want some whipped cream? But anyway.
I love when the guy comes and sprays her against this. No, that's Scary Movie. Yeah.
I saw that movie. I saw Scary Movie in theaters with my mom and dad. It's very awkward.
I saw Superbad in theaters with my little brother. And that was like weird to be like, well, Robbie, they're trying to get laid. You know? Like, and he was like, I don't get it. And then the dick montage at the end, credits.
Yeah.
We were like 15, so he was like 12. Like watching.
If I was 12, I probably would.
Yeah, but he's a sheltered little sweet child. Look at him now.
Yeah. Hope you're watching.
Plus, they were like doing coke and stuff, and Robbie didn't know what coke was yet, really. It was a good time.
But yeah, I can't really think of too many bad things about this movie.
I mean, there was some bad CGI, but that's just a sign of the times, you know?
Yeah, but it wasn't too noticeable. Like, now you can tell bad CGI.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's not much to say about this movie other than, like, it's dudes in a woods dealing with a bear that wants to kill them.
Yeah, it's a good watch. It's a solid 8 out of 10.
And it's not shot like a shitty horror movie, you know?
It's shot like, wow, this is happening.
Yeah. It's not shot like a...
the bear shows up and they're like...
Yeah. It's not like Ramified or fucking... like they hear the bear and they think it's over.
Don't say ramified. His stuff works.
No, his works. But I'm
All
saying a
right.
lot of people emulate his style and
All right,
fail
all right.
miserably. There's no like, is that a bear? And then no, it was just a squirrel. And they're like, ha. And then the bear's right behind them. None of that dumb shit, you know. It's just they'll be walking and then one of them will go, and then the bear is just running at them from a direction. That was the best scene when the black guy was like, wait. And then it just comes out of the woods.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's a genuine reaction.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, watch this movie.
It was
Pay
really
$4
fun.
on Amazon Prime.
Or, you know,
Pirate it.
pirate it. I don't know. I like it.
I don't think I've ever seen it on cable.
No, it's not really. It was big when it came. It was like big when it came out in the sense that like it was just something everyone saw. It was in theaters and it was like,
And
I'll go
Anthony
see The
Hopkins
Edge.
was in
Yeah.
it.
I saw it on VHS.
Holy snob. Thanks for
I
watching.
watched The Edge and then Day of the Triffids back to back.